Hello, hello, hello.
Huh?
Hello, hello, hello.
Who's there?
Oh, I just said hello. Well, you ain't reptar. Breakfast early?
That kid was annoying. He's sitting there shooting shots.
And who?
This guy on the court that had no gun. But he missed all of his shots, so I just came in and missed it. I got a police uniform though. Grandpa?
Hmm?
I got a police uniform from the kid that he killed.
Oh, Mom.
And I had 3 kills.
Already?
Yeah. And I did have one place and I punched the guy to death. And this other kid, he ran up on me and I SMG'd him. Then I just Tommy gunned this guy. But he got lucky because I could have killed both of them if I was there a little bit early. If I knew they were. Hello, hello, hello. Grandpa, that's what you said. Hello, hello, hello.
You said hello, hello, hello. There's 2 O's on the first one. So it's like English. Hello? Hello, hello, hello.
This game's fun to play.
It's starting warm in here already.
Huh?
It's starting warm in our room. It's cool in the rest of the house. Should turn that fan on. It's just louder.
If your hands get better, you gotta start playing this game. You really like it. Grandpa.
You can play it on the computer?
I don't know about computer. But mobile is super fun because everyone's a bot.
Mobile's too small for me to see anything on.
Should I just camp in this house? Yeah. That's so fun. Oh, TX, I finally made it to a live.
Hey, Tex.
Hello from Texas.
How's Texas doing?
Wait, but it says 0 viewers.
Yeah. They don't count boys from Texas. They're too big to fit on the viewer.
Who's that?
Tex, he's a friend from Texas. We like
Wait, how do you know exactly where I was?
Who?
This kid just walked into my room, walked into the room I was in and just shot me in the head. I still killed him though. Oh, he's still here.
Oh yeah, Tex, it's been a while. Both of us were out a little bit. And
Grandpa. So I was in that corner right there, and he just walks in back. And I shoot
just
him in
walked
the
in
head
and
with a
shot you.
shotgun.
I bet he wasn't a noob, huh?
Oh yeah, he was. He was trash.
Yeah, we hung out last night till
Like 3.
yeah, Caden made till about 3:15 before he crashed.
I'm doing emotes on them. Haha. Bats.
Hey, Drew's back.
Oh, hi, Drew.
I
thought it said Drew Brown, but now I noticed that it says Drew Brown.
Yep.
I wonder how this guy knew. Oh, they were probably teammates.
Did you guys get a notification, or did you just?
Sure.
I'm having trouble figuring out why.
I'm right in the middle of a move that.
Oh, that sucks. Yes, it does.
Really?
My last move was horrendous. I lost half my property, my wonderful children.
Yeah.
And how are you today, Drew?
You guys like said that at the same time. He said,
Oh.
"How's it going, Drew?" And he said, "How's it going?" Oh no, no.
He was got a bowl full of breakfast. And
Back to PUBG. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to
see if he makes a move to the cage. I'll switch the view.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I don't get it. They don't. Nobody gets any notices about me anymore. I used to be able to just hit the go live on YouTube because it's my computer and you're supposed to be able to. But now I have to open up Streamlabs and start it through Streamlabs and nobody gets notices.
Grandpa, I just kicked open the door technically. I jumped at the door and it opened. Oh God, slow clap.
I just figured nobody was going on live because usually around
This time.
10 o'clock, Reptar eats, and I was live almost every day and hardly ever got even one or two people to pop in. I don't know why I'm not getting notifications.
There are only 2 people.
Oh, I used to get a lot more.
How much?
Sometimes there were
Can I
12
tell you
or
something funny? Your channel is bigger than mine. Mine is not big at all. I only have 50 subscribers. You're over here like 3.
oh, everything. I gotta do this and do that, and where do I go to get stuff? And
Come on, where the box hiding?
how do I find the money to pay all the deposits they want me to rent a truck? And
What is this kid?
mine was crazy because I had to have everybody do it for me for the
I
first
just shot
time.
him out of his car. He was just sitting in his car and I shot him. Ha ha! Now I'm on 5 kills.
5 already?
Yeah. And there's 62 people left. Most of the people I ran into were bots. But this kid just sat in his car and I got to fix it. I shotgunned him in the head. The shotguns kill instantly if you shoot them in the head.
But yeah, the whole thing is like once I go live, it takes a week or more. Sometimes they don't re-upload anyway at all.
6 kills now. Grandpa.
What are you playing?
PUBG. That one that I got the 11 kill one yesterday. Yeah, remember?
How many did you have?
11 kills.
11?
Yeah, and now I have 6 with me. So I'm probably guaranteed over 10 kills, probably. So,
Well, I've heard rumors there might be platforms that take YouTube's place. It'll be like ICQ, like MySpace. What are the other ones that are gone?
Grandpa, are you good at gun games?
What games?
Gun games.
Usually.
Same. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Woo. Stop killing everyone. Yeah, you bot, get right. Everyone's getting killed from you. They all dying. Ha ha ha.
It's all about the Benjamins. If they can't get ad time, they don't want to waste their bandwidth with you.
Grandpa, I got another kill.
One more?
Yeah, he was checking through my other kills. He was checking through his box, checking through his loot. Then he shot me, and I pumped him again. But I'm really dead. Yeah, my favorite gun has to be the shotgun. And I actually scoped in and killed someone. I don't like with the shotgun. I'm still doing it.
But I've never seen a notice that said that you will no longer be able to go live from your computer.
Yeah, why is the texting so long? Mostly Texas. I don't own you. Oh, I didn't do it.
Well, they figured out how much they have to have before they're making money on your site. And if they can't make money on your site, why would they want you to even have one?
Are you the best on computers for gaming?
Gun games?
For anything.
I'm used to using the computer, not the controller.
PS4 is so much better. Because, like, the controls are so much easier than the computers. Like, it's not, you have to press 7 million buttons to do one thing. Like, you can just press X and you can jump, not space.
Yeah, I think it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of view
Wait,
time.
Grandpa, should I do the motorcycle or the Jeep?
I think that was monetization.
Grandpa, should I drive the motorcycle or the Jeep?
The Jeep.
Alright. Because I hit the motorcycle and flipped it.
Morning, reptar.
What? I like to run into things, so don't blame it on me when I run into a building.
If you have a Jeep, you drive over it.
I was hoping my Jeep exploded. I found a hiding spot. Among the box continue. Okay.
Oh, better watch
There
the
only-
screen.
Is there only one person here?
Yep.
How would I think to
Well, that thing's not always accurate, but
that was scary. I just made a scary noise and it was Is this a door? What's your favorite gun game that you play? Oh God, boy. Don't just pop up out of nowhere and die. I got your toast.
though my actual situation, I could have screwed it up by deleting a program that YouTube needed.
Oh God. Oh my God.
My hard drive's so full it's redlined. It doesn't want to run.
I got another kill. I have 8 now.
8?
Yep.
How many people are left?
39. I know the people go down so slow. I would just want to hit every other person I see this game.
Does it count if you hit them with a Jeep?
Yeah. Like I killed them. You remember yesterday? I killed people with the doom buggy.
Well,
I hit them with it. Yeah, I'm still in the circle. I have bananas. Oh my God. Why would you be all the way over there? The red zone that has the bombs in it, it's all the way in the sun. Yeah, it's totally in the sun. Hey guys. What's up?
I mean, I even try using reptar in the title so that the word gets more hits, but it's not helping.
I just killed 2 people with my vehicle.
Awesome.
You think I'm a bot? No. Like they were teaming together?
Oh, yeah. Is that okay in the game?
No. It's solo. You gotta be by yourself and stay with
Do they ban you if you help each other?
Not in this game. Have you seen how old it is?
Uh-uh.
I forgot that. It's not the oldest game, but it's not new either.
No, we had kick the can and spin the wheel,
Spin the wheel.
stick against the picket fence games, marbles. Those are the old things.
Oh, I like marbles.
Did you ever play marbles with a circle where you hit the marble?
Well, no, I just like watching them go down the tubes and go like.
You like the algorithm marbles online on. It's not quite the same as marbles, but.
What is that? What is the marble you're talking about?
You collect the marbles and you play a game. You have a circle on the ground and you try to knock each
I
other's
used to
marbles
just collect marbles,
Yeah.
but we never like got marbles. I have 10 kills now, and I knew it was a good thing. 10 kills. Turn up my up. Oh, God.
Well, Tex, I hope you get moved in. Get that out of the way.
Where's this kid? Where's that bat I was just shooting? Let's go. Oh, where's this kid hiding? Oh, I see more kids.
I know they're not adults.
Probably more like instead of that. Like the first kid I killed. That was so funny. Because the first kid I killed, well, he was shooting at nothing and I just punched him. Oh God, oh God. Where is this person shooting? Oh, it's a little baby, just cute. Is someone trying to hit me? Got him. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Let me get out. Ah! No, no. I got 11 kills. No. I swear, if one more kid comes at the same exact freaking time, I'm about to fucking quit this game. Yes! What you get, freaking bots? Don't mess with me. Yeah. So freaking mean. And when I say that, I mean they were. All three of them were teaming on me, and I killed all three of them.
You did.
Oh, I got a ghillie suit. Grandpa?
What?
I'm about to quit this game.
You are? What's up?
This freaking kid's over here now!
Kids? And you can't shoot them?
Come on, buddy. I'm going. If I can find a spot. That's right here.
On your way home? Well, be careful on your drive.
Go.
Drubin.
Who's that?
Drew?
That's a dude. This boy is... He just standing still so I could hit him. got 13 or 14 kills now. White man great, so they got a beat. Well, now I'm riding an old Doom buggy. This is so much fun. I just had 6 kids come up to me, Grandma. You think I'm happy? Oh! Come here, boy. Let me kill you. Look at that 15. I'm 16. Ha! I just stole this kid kill. Kid's kill. Come here, booty. See if you can knock him down.
Reptar, you getting hungry yet? I'm just sitting there watching.
Ow! Ow! There's kids all around me.
No problem, Drew. We have the Blue Army in here.
Why don't you just annoy me when I'm telling you something? Is that what you're going to do? They were fighting for that. Oh. Hey, well, I'll go grab this supply drop. Okay, what? Holy crap! I just got into an actual aimbot pit. Holy crap.
Did you kill him?
No. He shot me through the wall. You think I can kill someone that does that?
I don't know.
No!
You only had 14 kills?
I actually had 16.
16?
Yeah. I got 5th place. Kill bot. Thanks for the wrench, brother.
He did pretty good until almost 4. He slept for about 5 hours. I slept from 6 to 6:15. I got 15 minutes. Ha ha, wobbly. How's Australia?
You stir the cocoa first. You stir it in, then put it in the microwave.
You can, yeah.
How long do I put it in the microwave?
Start with 1 minute, and then you wait about 30 seconds after you take it out because it keeps getting hotter. It's going really good, Wobbly. I keep trying. My grandkids keep me young. It's cold. Yeah, it's actually 69 in the rest of my house, but it's about 75 here in the bedroom. We create a lot of heat in here. With the computer and the lizard cage and me and the hot water heater in the closet and the internet, the Wi-Fi box that are all creating heat.
What time do I take it out?
Put it in for 1 minute.
Okay.
Then take it out and wait for 30 seconds and see if it's hot enough. If not, put it in for another minute.
Okay.
How long should I cook 2-minute noodles for?
I'm gonna wait here.
How long do you cook 2-minute noodles for, Kate?
I wondered. 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
It says 2 minutes.
This is Wobbly Boost. He's from Australia.
Is it funny? Is it funny?
Stuck his tongue out at you.
Yeah. I'm gonna go check it out.
Alright. You gotta have his hot chocolate. Yeah, old reptar's just hanging out getting fat.
This is good. But it's actually for you.
No, go ahead. I got coffee. There's a. You can set it on your thing if you're careful and don't spill it.
Don't spill.
50 this morning. Yeah, our weather broke about 4 days ago from getting down to 75 at night to getting down to almost 50 now.
Feeling good? I swear.
Yeah, you might want to set it up on the desk instead.
This is good.
Is it hot enough?
That's fine. No! Cancel! I want to play with a box gun. Yeah. What? Box gun. Nothing's still putting up with you, brother. I've been actually a while.
No, Wobbly, she's not. She went home a couple weeks ago and would prefer to be home on her own. So we're kind of just in a. It's either on a hiatus or it's on a non-existence. But
What?
we were both in a chat room last night. There weren't any problems. So.
No, sure. This kid invited me to jump with him.
Alright.
I don't know, but I said yes. I don't want the box gun.
Yeah, well, I thought she was happy right up until she was home and said things weren't like she said they were every day. But, you know, you can't ever tell what other people are really thinking.
Is the main thing.
That's what people said. They thought she was happier. But
wanted to see the gem.
Who knows what will happen in the future.
That's what you get rich, she comes back.
Yeah, I don't think money was the thing, Katie.
That's the octopus.
That's the one you don't like?
No, it's so ugly. Look at them eyes. They look Asian. So when are we going to jump to, mate? What?
What did it say?
It said, search for vehicle.
Oh.
I know, you can click it and it says yeah.
Well, thank you, Wobbly Boost.
I wish you both the best. Anyhow. Bow, bow,
no,
bow,
she's
bow.
a really sweet, kind person. But who knows what the problem was? Hey, Joe.
Oh, Joe Pool. Hi. Just missed you. She deserves someone nuts.
Well, she found somebody nuts enough to offer.
Where are we going, teammate? Oh. We got
Yeah, you caught this one live, Joe. So that comment where I was laughing in my head.
This live? Ha 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 ha. Right, man,
I fed Reptar, but he's
fun.
chilling, just keeps looking at it like, was that it? I get that every day.
Is what? Yeah, I'm fat and I just sit on my butt. Is that what I get? Food! For real, you could have gave me food.
Well, you feed a dragon lettuce. You think he'd want like sheep or people or
I know.
sheeple or something?
I totally heard sheeple.
Yeah, Joe.
Where is kid?
Grandkids.
Get off me, boy. Yeah, that's what I thought, you bot. It's what he did. He just came up behind me and started shooting me. It shot him in the head.
He's a Friday the 13th movie. Another evil spawn.
Snipe him in the head. Well, you think you can get away from me? No, you can't. Like, literally, you suck. Yeah! I swear, if there's more people... Ooh. Wait! I know all my teammates just leave me back here and I just put some people like, wow, you're so nice to me. What? They leave me to die.
They left
There's more kids! Oh my god. Come on.
The neighbors are a bit over it. Yeah, you see a bunch of cringe videos of kids that are freaking out.
That's what I thought, you got. Yeah, get ready. You suck at this. Yeah. Okay, well, I got another kill. Third kill. I'm the same bot.
When my son would play, he'd rip all the computers apart and overclock them and have fans blowing on them. And he'd be upstairs playing and you just hear just him go off.
I have a sniper and a shotgun. Why do I have to?
Drew, he's doing wonderful. Here, let me move this so I can see what I'm doing.
Where? I swear. Where? Come here. Come on, where are you? Where are you hiding, buddy?
Take you on a little trip here.
There's more kids behind us!
He's sitting there eyeing his meal. If he ever makes a move other than his eyeballs, I'll switch. But right now we got a trying to do this left-handed.
What left-handed?
Adjust it. The camera.
Where does this bot go?
He's fat and sassy.
Who's that?
I've got Roadhog sending some more skulls. And
when he doesn't get his food?
I'm gonna try and put them together to make a ladder out of them. I used to have this really cool Halloween T-shirt that was skulls with skull ladder.
What do you have? Like, if you weren't a bot, you could have had friends with you. Like, where are you running?
Oh, he loves insects. I buy him live crickets, live mealworms. Right now I've got freeze-dried mealworms.
All these kids are bots. I just have 4 kills now.
Yeah?
The bots. I'm sniping bots.
But when I got it, went on Google looking around for food for it and went to Amazon and they have their partners. And there's a couple of different farms for crickets and worms and different things. And I went on their site and checked out all the comments.
All my teammates.
And then I talked to some of the people that have had them for a while.
Grandpa.
What's the game you're playing?
PUBG.
PUBG?
PUBG.
PUBG.
Pub.
PUBG?
Not PUBG.
Okay, pub. P-U-B?
Yes. G.
G. Okay. Yeah, he runs around in their underwear to start the game, killing each other until they.
And off. And then I get. Finally, my teammates are starting to do something.
Now there are 100 people in the team game.
There's actually 73 now.
What was it start at?
100. Like that. But just they're more bodies. Most the kids are more bodies because it's squad.
I'm trying to get the red pellets. He really loves those.
Oh my god!
I called them croutons because you could hear him crunching when he eats them. But
why
now
don't
nobody wants to carry them. Myers and Walmart are the two close stores that had them, and they don't want to carry them anymore.
Grandpa.
What?
Why do you want to know what I was playing?
I don't know. Probably wanted to know. He's watching you. People ask questions about what they watch.
Oh god. Stop.
We did watch some Safari Live this morning. They had the elephants and the lions.
Good job, teammate. You're actually doing something. You're not a bot, like I thought. Oh wait, yeah.
Oh man, you should see him. He can leap all the way across this cage, from one end to the other, in the air when he sees a cricket moving around. Mealworms, yeah, they really trigger him. It's like a fish with a worm dangling the head. He can't take it.
My teammates
I
actually.
simulate the live mealworms by dropping the freeze dried in a little at a time. One dink, dink, dink.
Ding, 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 ding. I have to take a sip. I mean, it looks like it. Ha ha ha!
Yeah, I see one that tortoise that they say for turtles. It's got brown and kind of light colored, pink brown balls in it. But I'm sure the reptile food is reptile food, so I thought about getting that. But I can get the what I want through Amazon,
Yeah,
but
now I have an overpowered.
now they have a purchase requirement on Amazon that you have to buy $25 worth of stuff to buy something from a partner that's not $25 or more. Another corporate thing.
Hey.
Well, you
Shut up, kid.
it shows I'm falling asleep. I did too, from 6 to 6:15. I got 15 minutes of sleep last night. I'm happy.
I just hope this kid dies and leaves. I'm like,
Did that help?
well, I don't have a mic, so. No, get. Guys, I'm falling asleep. So I put a video about it.
I'll have to check it out.
Shut up, kid. See?
Oh, somebody's talking.
Idiot.
They must have a headset on.
I know. They're back. I wish you could show your teammates in this so I could just snipe them in the head right now. Like, who wouldn't want to snipe this kid in the head? Would you? Like, shit. I swear, if they die, I'm just gonna dance on them. It was just because my teammates shooting it.
Reptar.
It's bad.
Yeah, I actually ate better when I fed him the same time every day, but I have adjusted his eating time. Yeah, I'll check that out. I was just going to order 2,000 mealworms and get a couple of jars of the pellets from Amazon next month, maybe. Mealworms work out pretty good. You can just, without even caring for them, leave them in the fridge, and they'll last. I think it was 5 weeks the last time when I finally finished them up. But if I had the money, I'd buy the bedding and a little tank and raise them, so I would never have to buy them again. The crickets are fun, but you have to, man, they can jump out of the cage. They crawl inside the rocks and hide. Caden would come over here for about 2 months and say, I keep hearing crickets, Grandpa.
They were biting, they were hiding.
They were hiding inside that rock that's like, got a hole right up the middle.
That's actually a log.
It's log? Petrified?
Are you dumb? That's a log. Can you not see the wood in it?
It's heavy. I don't know. If it's log, it's petrified. Which means it was replaced by rock. That thing weighs like 28, 30 pounds.
I feel like you're just being overreactive. Or the drama queen. What are you doing? Okay. I swear, if I had money, I'd be screaming in these kids' ears. Yo, so you didn't like his yo, so I'm just gonna drive to my teammate and hit him with the car. Teammate, come here. What's up? Yeah, I actually got him in the car. What? Boy! What? What's up? Turn around. I'll be right here.
Camp Kennan?
Where?
Like I say, you get the comments from purchasers led me to several different people that have had them for a while, and I did check out a couple of their websites. I almost had 2 of them, but the other one was a boy. It had something wrong. It was sick in its mouth. I don't remember what she said it was, but I can't set a second cage up in here. Was that for you, Caden?
What?
Was that horn for you?
I don't know. Probably.
No.
I'll go see.
All right.
And then I'll bring it.
It was for you? Who is it?
Dad, one, five.
You gonna take your shoes?
Have a good day.
I love you. Thanks for coming over.
Okay.
Spend the night.
Bye,
You gonna come next weekend? School starts Tuesday?
Yeah.
Won't see you before school starts. Good luck. Well, I guess that was the end of his visit. A couple of horn blows, and they don't come in if they don't have to, because, well, in the park, his mom lives here. She moved here a few months ago. So if he comes in, he has to talk to her. It's forever getting out the door. And by the time he's done that, he doesn't want to come in here too. I did a little research on setting up a cage for the tropical lizards. Boy, there's a lot to that. You got more pellets? Yeah, I'll check out his site. Missouri. He's been a really good companion. I know I need to trigger you to eat, don't I? Yeah, see, I used to use these. There's a couple different brands. But they're just a red pellet, like look like what I used to buy for rabbit medicated pellets when I raised rabbits for butchering. One of the mealworms I buy for in the chicken size feeder bag, which is like a pound of them for a couple bucks. There's this little tiny jar costs a couple bucks for lizards too. Yeah, they start school Tuesday. He was real excited. He went to the meeting a couple days ago and met his teacher, homeroom teacher, and he's in a new school because it's for 5th and 6th graders. Oh man, does it? It's like a fish, man. You ever thrown a bunch of food into the water with a whole? I mean, it's just he can't help himself. And the mealworms, they're pretty lively too. Actually, they don't move a lot, but they do move, and they'll inch their way across there. It definitely triggers them, just like any other animal. I can even trigger them with my finger if I do a good job of just poking it up there a little bit. But they are too, also depending on their heat. So when I got him, he had been in Caden's basement bedroom, so he really hasn't been a high temperature according to all the stats I read on him. He's more around 70 to 80 than the 90 to 110 that they like. With the heat light, where he's sitting now, which I turned off the heat lamp, but I only run that at night because I have to run a fan on the computer all the time now. Reptar. But he loves lettuce, no doubt about that. And he ate a lot more regular when I fed him at the same time. My whole body's out of whack right now. My chair collapsed on me and I broke my tailbone here a couple weeks ago. Now it's too hard to sleep, too painful. Eastern painted turtle. Yeah, we used to catch painted turtles out of the lakes all the time, but the cage always, the water would go stagnant, or, we were kids. We didn't take care of them right. Once they stunk enough, Mom would take them and release them. But we had like 600-acre swamp behind our house. In the very middle of it was a sphagnum bog. And right in the middle of that was a bottomless lake. It was so rusty, it was red water. The only thing that lived in it were turtles. I mean, it was a bog. We would climb up in the white pines, get up about 15 feet off the ground, and the ground just moves under your feet. The tree sways in the wind, and the ground moves. And if you step in the wrong spot, you disappear. We called it Lost Lake. It was a leftover after the river changed its course. Yeah, I'll do some live next month if I can get some live food. He's cocking his head back and forth. He may be contemplating the effort of walking all the way across his plate. Yeah, they don't heal up much, and they usually, if you do go to the doctor, they won't do anything for it. My problem is I sleep in a chair, but if I elevate my feet so that I don't have the blood running into them all the time, then it puts pressure on it. You can feel the bones rub against each other, and that's pretty painful. I can't get comfortable. I'm sitting on a 4-inch cushion that's on top of a comforter, and there are 2 comforters on top of that. It's like the Princess and the Pea story. One little pressure point because both hips are shot, and most of my spine's shot. So the tailbone was just an added bullshit problem. Are you gonna react at all today? I see you're just eyes are just flicking around, looking for something to move. The kids always hand fed him. Always. Their mom would buy this really long lettuce stems, and they'd hold the stem, and he'd eat the edges off of it. He has really no issues with being held. I've had him up in front of the camera a lot, as long as you support his belly. Um, when I clean the cage, I pick him up. He don't care. He's got one foot with a little bit deformed, and he does favor that. If you try to monkey with that, he'll let you know. But he was handled by the kids a lot. I mean, their friends would come over and they would hold him. And That's what happened to most of his pets. They'd get left out by the friend. You'd have to find a hamster or whatever. We used to have a huge iguana that we got as a rescue, and he never had a cage. I mean, tip to tail was 5'8". He'd just lay on the couch, suck up the sun, get warm, go running across the room, eat his food, and go sit back down. And he was never bothered anybody till my son got brave and took him outside, and it went to a wild creature in a flash. He had to chase it down 3 yards. He finally caught it, turned around, and just crushed his thumb. Bit him good. He loves that thing, that hammock. I added that when I got him in the log. All the rest of the stuff, except for the skulls, were here before. The skulls are here because of Roadhog, the goat, the raccoon, and the goat without the horns. He's supposed to be sending me 3 more. I love the skulls in there. And the one is hot melt glued with the jaw on it, and I open the jaw up, and every time he comes over and shuts it, or he'll shove it inside the log. It could just be random, but it looks like he don't care for that one. What? This was right in your normal feeding time. I know I've been feeding you a little bit later. I was trying to get more people to go live, but now I found out nobody's getting the notices. Oh, I think lizards are cool, and when they said they couldn't take care of him anymore, I was glad to have him. Of all the animals I've ended up, this one is the one I like the most. My house has looked like a zoo at times. Plus, we were breeders for a while. We bred miniature dachshunds for show dogs, and then we bred Bengal cats. Before that, I had parrots. I had a beautiful blue and gold macaw, but my sister moved back in with me, and she was deathly afraid of birds. Yeah, tortoises are cool. I had a friend who bought his kid a tarantula when his kid was 14, and then the kid grew up, moved out, went to college, and he had this in a curio style cabinet that was like a coffee table. He didn't feed it for 2 years, and it didn't die. And I started bringing crickets over. And that thing molted, and it was 19 years old when it died. We had taken it to the zoo, to the vet the one time at the zoo, and he's like, I can't believe how old this thing is. They don't live that long. Oh, and he never once cleaned the cage, so the thing was just massively full of web and dead carcasses. And I had a kid that was a cousin of my son-in-law that moved in with me for a while that had a ball python, and he changed his diet because I'd asked him about it. Eating live bait, and he said, "Yeah, I just use freeze-dried mice." So we went and got a couple, and he ate both of them, and ended up all bound up, and his gut split wide open and killed him. Reminded me of my childhood with the hamsters. After a few weeks of them being healthy, I'd go grab a carrot or celery out of the fridge and give them diarrhea, and they'd die. But when I got him, I did a bunch of reading of people that have them and what Google and Wikipedia have to say about them. And I figured if the grandkids could keep them alive, I should be able to. I did. I had cockatiels and the parrot for a while, and then one Easter, parakeets were the thing to give kids, I guess, all marketed, and everybody got parakeets. And like 2 months later, over the next 4 months, people just started bringing birds to my house until I think I had 12 or 13 parakeets. I built this huge cage, and not realizing that they have this unusual breeding cycle where there has to be a male for every female, and the females will fight to death to make sure they each have one, and then they all went to a breeding cycle, and I ended up with 32 eggs and 29 of them hatched. And I took the whole cage to the store and said, "Look, I don't want them on consignment. I just want you to start giving them to people. I don't want them. I didn't want parakeets to begin with." I had one really beautiful songbird, and the neighbor's cat came in through the basement and ate it. And then my neighbor didn't like me anymore after I shot its cat. But it was in my house. But I've never been able to get another songbird, though. That one kind of soured me to the whole thing. But that was really cute. He had quite a repertoire. And the parrot I had, the blue and gold macaw, had been raised on a farm with Rottweilers, so it had a growl that'd make the hair on the back of your head stand up, that parrot did. And, oh, there we go. Dinner time. Stuff in his face. Well, I think the pellets actually enticed him more. He loved them pellets. But live bait, definitely. He can't help himself on that. But even then, from other people I talk to, he eats reasonably short term after I feed him. I mean, this time it was a whole hour, but And he still perks up when I'm watching the cop watches at night, and you can hear the crickets. Yeah, he finally got hungry. I'd like to expand his diet, but I talk to people who feed him fruit and veggies, and we try to keep his diet kind of consistent. If I add anything to it, it'll have to be just small amounts, a little at a time, to see how he does with them. But the last switch over from live mealworms to freeze-dried definitely dampened his appetite. Dampened. Definitely you need to clean the cage today, so eat up all your lettuce. It's just been too painful to clean it. It's about a week late, too. I don't like to let it go more than a week. Now, when you do the tortoise things, you use that reptile disinfectant spray that... Yeah, see, that was either enough, he's not either warm enough or hungry enough to continue. He'll probably come back in a couple hours after he sits up there and digests for a while. The side view is nice, but it doesn't look like it's as easy to see. It's kind of off color. Usually I have the side shot, but I've been trying to get head-on shots of the meat and where he opens his mouth all the way. But I think he's happy. They say, now the kids didn't keep the cage real clean, so the first time I got the inside and outside really clean, he thought there was no glass. That was a couple weeks where I thought he wasn't happy, because one of the things they say when they're stressed is they try to climb out all the time. He was walking up the sides of the glass for days. I realized finally it's because it was finally reflective instead of dirty. At least I hope that's what it was. No, I guess he's all done, so. Well, thanks for hanging out, Drew. I'm going to check out your site here. I can't do it while I'm on. Used to be able to, but I just used YouTube, but with Streamlabs, I can't go look at other screens. Yeah, how big an area do you let him roam? Your whole backyard, or do you have it fenced off? Or I've seen some pretty cruel videos on tortoises that One guy drilled a hole in the shell and actually had a latch on it to hook it up to a chain. Another guy just left it inside a bucket. That was a turtle, not a tortoise. I see people that turn swimming pools into ponds, and there are lots of lakes in this area of Michigan, and there are lots of turtles. We have lots of snappers too. Dirt and cypress. Yeah, we probably don't prefer the winter here too much. 10 by 20, that's pretty good size. And tortoises aren't quite as slow. I mean, people think turtles are slow, but man, I used to watch Dad chase snappers down, and he was full out running. Catch him. The reptar's pretty healthy. His last molt took a long time. I guess my daughter said she used to bathe them when they molted, and that helped, but do you have any videos of it up on your channel? Or? Yeah, but 3x6 is huge, really, for an indoor cage. I mean, I built cages for my birds. I worked at a furniture factory, and a couple of years there, they transferred me and sold me like a slave to another company, and I had free reign there with all the equipment and everything, and I would build all kinds of cages. I mean, I even got 4x8 sheets of Lexan for free, so they had ordered like 15 sheets that were supposed to be shaded, and they came clear. So you just put them in the stock. So I'd go sign it out, and a week later, if nobody else signed it out, you could have it. That saved me a fortune. Those 4x8 sheets are expensive. I mean, I was building cages with 4x4 sides of plexiglass with nice maple railings to put it all together. And when they give you the key to the door, it's nice to use it. Yeah, then they went out of business after 2 years and sold me back. That's when I was building one-of-a-kind conference tables and credenzas and desks. I did some Frank Lloyd Wright reproductions of leather roll top tables or desks with pigeonhole cabinets. What a pain. And he eats yard grass, or do you have to have? Yeah, I'll check them out. Do you have to have a special grass or no fertilizer? Or I mean, that was the biggest warning I got when I got the lizards. Don't bring bugs in from outdoors and feed them, because you don't know what they've been exposed to or what they have absorbed, fertilizer or pesticides or whatever. They even said don't do earthworms for that reason. Because I've been designing an indoor aquarium pond with a waterfall that I wanted to have turtles and fish and crustaceans mainly. My favorite tank I've ever had was a marine tank, and it was invertebrate tank. In other words, I had starfish, shrimp, crabs, all kinds of the animals. So I had to only have the kind of fish that didn't eat them. I had a lot of brain corals and polyps, and I'd buy live rock from the ocean, and you put it in a tank, and within a week or week and a half, you might have 20 creatures crawl out of it. I think the one time I got a $15 rock, and within 2 days I had $600 worth of shrimp come out of it. But that's expensive to maintain a mini reef. But oh my god, it was so cool. What was dandelions? Yeah, clover. I know they love clover. Now, does it eat meat? I know turtles are omnivores, but sometimes in captivity it's a little different. Ah, prickly pear. Yeah, I bet they love the cactus. Okay, now that he's eating, it's time for me to eat. I'm gonna let you go, Drew. I'll check out some of your videos later today. Leave you a comment or two. You reptar, you gonna say goodbye? Looking like a statue there. Alright. It was good talking to you. Thanks for coming in. Y'all have a good day. We gone.